Good morning, class of 2021. This is Miss Wickers. This is your ICAP lesson for the week of March 1, 2021. So, gosh, you are getting super close to graduation and finishing up this chapter in your life. That's so exciting. All right, let's get going. All right, today what we're going to do, pay attention, guys, pay attention. Today, what we're going to do is we're going to look at some tools to help you explore career options and career ideas. Even though you've done that in the past on your own, as well as probably through our previous tool, Naviance, we're going to look at another one today that you can access anytime. We're going to look at the skills and education levels associated with a career that you can search on. We're going to mention resumes, and then we'll come back to them at another lesson. And then, of course, we're going to do our famous and ever popular ICAP questions. Yay! Okay, just to start, giving you a little background information. Academic knowledge, as you can see on the screen, it means basically it's your academic skills. It's the skills that are relevant in school, specifically related to the content of your classes. How much you have mastered reading, writing, math, and science, and the way that your mastery or how well you are, how much competency you have in those is measured by your grades, your tests, the college prep courses, and your credits earned. So that academic knowledge is very, very important in school and in college and moving forward because it's the foundational information that you need to do the next step. Now, non-academic skills and abilities, also called non-cognitive abilities. Cognitive means thought processes. So it doesn't mean you don't think, it just means really non-academic abilities. These are basically the behaviors that you have, such as your skills that might be not related specifically to school, beliefs that you have, strategies that you use that don't show up in your test scores, but are important in your school performance and in your career performance. These things can include like behaviors you have, such as do you show up on time? Do you do your homework? Do you work to learn? Are you persistent? Do you stick with something when it's difficult and get through it, or come back to it and get through it? And what are your beliefs about how to behave? Things like, do you believe that you can improve with effort and hard work? Do you believe that each person is responsible for his or her own successes and failures overall? Those are what are called non-academic or non-cognitive skills or abilities. And they're very important in life. Academic skills and knowledge are very important because, like I said, they are the foundation of the information you need to move to the next step, whether it's in high school or college or in your job. You got to have that content knowledge to know what you're doing. The non-cognitive or the non-academic abilities are what you carry with you as you. Like, do you show up on time? Do you believe that you can improve with hard work, just as we were just saying? And they're both very important. I will hide that. All right, so let's look at it from the perspective of either a college admissions officer or an employer. Putting yourself in their shoes. Is being prepared and on time, working hard, and taking responsibility and working well with others, some things are some skills that you own, that you have. These are skills that are needed for success in college and in the workforce. So whether you're going straight into the workforce, into the military, straight into college, or into a career after college, or maybe building that while you're in college, these are some traits, some non-cognitive abilities that you're going to need and that the other people that see you in the world are going to want to see. They're going to want you to be prepared when you show up. They're going to expect you to be on time. They're going to expect you to work hard. They're going to expect you to take responsibility. And they're going to expect you to work well with others. So we're going to jump out and go to this website real quick. And it's 10 things that employers are looking for in their employees. I want you to look at this. So I'm going to click on that, go to that website, and then we'll come back. All right, so what you're seeing is Basically, you skip through all this stuff, and unfortunately, this site has a bunch of like notification junk on the side. You can read through all this, and then you can skip down to the list. So let's just look at the list. Cognitive flexibility. That means how flexible are you thinking? How flexible is your thinking? You're not locked into doing something a certain way or you give up. Negotiation skills. Do you have a service orientation? Everybody that works in this school has a service orientation. They are here to serve others. They are not doormats, but they are here to, their life is giving to others and helping others, to maximize your potential for your future, to take the skills and abilities you have, give you information, and help you, empower you to go in the world. So service orientation, that's important. You may not like serving others. You may not always, you find the job that works for you to do that, but that's an important uh, attitude to have from employers' perspectives. Remember, we're putting ourselves in their shoes. Your judgment and your decision making. Do you make good decisions? Do you take time to have rational judgment? Do you have bad judgment? If you do, something to work on. Emotional intelligence. Are you perceptive to other people's emotions? Are you able to respond to them? Include those considerations. Coordinating with others, so working well with others. People management. Again, it's not whether it's your way or the highway or, well, forget it, I'm not doing this. That doesn't work in the real world. It doesn't work in most situations. And you have to be able to manage people well and be empathic. And that's going back here. That's where emotional intelligence and all these other skills, coordinating with others, are important skills to be able to manage people. Creativity, obviously. Critical thinking is huge. Basically, critical thinking is how much you're using logic and reasoning as part of your thought process. It's not just an emotional response or a shallow thought process that's a one-off thought process. Are you thinking deeply and critically about a situation and coming up with a logical possible solution? And then that's very related to complex problem solving. You're never going to have, very, very seldom in life, whether you're a parent or a student or an employee or an employer, are you going to have simple problems. They are often multifaceted, have many parts, many considerations, many sides, and you have to be able to integrate them all. So all of you listening to this have these skills already, but you need to be aware how important they are and exercise them. Okay, we're going to jump back to our slideshow. All right, here we go again. So just exposing you. I know a lot of you probably already know this stuff. All right, so you can go to that site anytime you want. It's right there on the slide. Take a picture if you like. And if you find that you're struggling with those list of 10 skills that employers are looking for, and that's also what anybody's looking for, that's going to, scholarship, people are looking for, colleges are looking for, military is looking for. Those are basically good skills to have to help you get by in the world and help you be productive in your job. And if any of those are a particular struggle for you that you know of, that's where you need to work on it. And you can get help with that. Okay, just a quick list here. Top 10 growing jobs in Colorado. Just take a quick look. This was as of April of last year, so about 11 months ago. Yes, it was during the pandemic. Some of this may have shifted slightly, but it's pretty representative. That doesn't mean that you have to get a job in these to be successful. That just means that these are the ones that are hiring the most right now, that there's the most jobs available or being sought, that employers are seeking people to fill these jobs. All right, this one we're just going to take we're not going to analyze it too deeply. The takeaway from this slide, the average salary information for U.S. workers, here's what I want you to get from this. Ready? Look on the right-hand side where there's that graph with the red line, and look at the bottom axis, the x-axis. See where it says no high school degree on the left, and then it progresses to the right with more advanced levels of education. That's what I want you to look at, and then go up to where the red line is and look at the general average income in that area. Remember, average is not a great number because it takes the lowest and the highest and everybody in between. So it may not represent what's going on in your field at that moment, but it gives you an idea. So it's a trend. So as you can see, the takeaway from this basically is if you have a high school diploma and you go straight up above the words high school degree to where the red line is, you can expect that your average earnings at the highest point in your salary is going to be around $38,000 a year. It might be higher. That's just the average for the entire United States, and that includes places that have a much lower cost of living than we do. And then, but as you can see, as you get more advanced degrees, your income jumps significantly. So it's a pretty simple statement. The takeaway is the more education you have, generally speaking, the higher your income is. In some cases, that's not true. Like college professors don't make a lot of money, although they have an exceptionally high degree of education. But they also have a pretty stable uh, work life. Like they don't get laid off easily, like workers will in other jobs. And they have a pretty high quality of life. They're doing something that they're passionate about. So sometimes you trade money for what you want to do. Like there's a balance there between passion and money income. Not always, but there is a trade off sometimes. So just be aware of that. But generally speaking, the higher your education, the more education you have, the more job stability, and the higher your income is going to be in your life. It's just a fact. It's been proven over decades and decades and decades. Okay, each year in Colorado, check this out. There are twice as many high school dropouts, or people that drop out of high school, I don't like that wording, as there are jobs available. So what are they going to do? However, if you graduate high school just with your diploma, not even talking about college, there are more jobs available for high school graduates than there are graduates. So just by getting your high school diploma, you have a much better chance of getting and keeping a job. And I think you've been told this a lot over your life, but there's some information on it. There are twice as many job openings for those people with some college education as there are students who complete at least some college training. So basically, what that red statement means is that even if you just have some college education, like in some certifications, maybe an associate's degree, um, you there's still plenty of jobs for you. Like there's more jobs than there are people with that training. So again, the job prospects are much better if you have a high school diploma, high school, you graduate high school, and if you get some college training, than if you don't. So that's basically the takeaway from this. And these are stuff that you've been told, you've heard us all say for years, but there's the facts, Jack. All right, we're going to go to this website. It's called My Next Move, and I'm going to jump out of this and show you. But take a photo, take a screenshot, because there's the website right there, and this is really cool, and you can do some more exploring. We're going to demo it right now. So, okay, this website right here. Just don't worry about looking at everything. What I want you to do is go to this search tool right here, where I'm circling the search, click search, describe, list some kind of, I don't know what all that stuff is. List a job that you're thinking of. I'm going to give an example. Nurse. Okay, so there's a bunch of different nursing related careers. Many students come and talk to us about being nursing assistants. So let's click on that one. The knowledge you need. This page now is going to give you a lot of general information about that field, nursing assistant. Not being a registered nurse, that was a different job, but the field of nursing assistant, which is like what we call a CNA, certified nursing assistant. Talks about the personality traits you need, some of the technology you're going to be dealing with, skills, abilities. Endurance is one. Got to remember that's a physical job. Education right here. Out of 5 boxes, it clicks 3. So basically, you need a high school diploma and then a certificate after school. Here is an example. We'll just click on this. medium job preparation is needed for nursing assistants. Right here, training. Employees in these careers need 1 or 2 years of training. You need a certificate in college, from college. It's not a degree. It's a couple, like it's a certificate. So it's anywhere from 6 months up to 2 years, depending on what you're doing. So that's an example of how you can use that site. Let's go do another one. Let's do doctor or physician. Okay. So as you can see, physicians assistants are not doctors. Don't go there. I mean, they're great, but that's not a doctor. So what you're talking about, like, let's say somebody wanted to be a pediatrician, that means a doctor for children. Like when you were little, who you might have gone to, or if you're under 18, who you might still go to. Pediatricians, in general. So this is a doctor. Just so you know, doctors they get their 4-year bachelor's degree. And while they're in that, they're studying for a huge test called the MCAT, which is the Medical Career or Medical College admissions test. It's like the SAT on steroids. You have to have a lot of information on that, do well on it. You have to do exceptionally well on it. And then in your senior year, you not only take the test, but then you find out if you can get into medical school. Then you do 4 years of medical school. So you get your 4-year degree if you get through in 4 years. Then you apply to and hopefully get into a medical school. So you have 4 more years of medical school. So there's 8 years. And then you will do 2 to 3 years of a residency. So there's 10 to 11 years. And then if you specialize beyond that, you'll have a couple more years. So it's anywhere from 10 to 13 years after high school of full-time education to become a doctor. So please don't think that doctors don't know what they're doing. They do. Let's go down here. Lots of stuff you can take the time to look at. As you can see, it takes a lot of education, as I was explaining. Yeah. So this is a great tool for you to use in career exploration. It's called My Next Move. And it's, anyway, I'll go back to the slides and you can see where it is again. So you can take that photo if you want it. Okay. If you didn't capture it the first time, here's that website, the My Next Move website, where you can search careers, their education, the skills you need, personality traits that you need for that job. I'll leave it up for about 5 more seconds. Okay, this is going to be a quick reference. You're going to need a resume this year, not just because it's on your senior checklist, which it is, but because you need one. You're going into the world. Colleges are going to ask for that. Scholarships may ask for it. Jobs are certainly going to ask for it. And as you move up in your career or you change jobs or colleges, they're very likely to want to see your resume. It's expected that you're going to have a good resume ready to go. So here's some things on a resume. It highlights your academics, your extracurriculars, and other skills. It's also a tool to market yourself when you're applying for a job, scholarship, college, or any other related opportunity. If you're trying to get into an internship, probably going to want to see your resume. And if you look below on that second bullet point, those are again, coming back to what employers are looking for skills. We went to that website where it says the 10 top skills that employers are looking for when you put yourselves in their shoes. Those are also the 10 top skills that college admissions officers are looking for as well. They want that academic strength. They also want the non-cognitive or the non-academic skills as well. But this is what the things that employers are going to want to see showing through in your resume, that you can work in a team, you have leadership skills, you can write well and you can communicate well, you can problem solve, you don't just give up or you can't come up with a problem solution. And part of problem solving is the ability to work in a team. We don't solve our problems the best when it's just us by ourselves. It works well to work with others. And having a strong work ethic. So that means showing up on time, doing your best, taking responsibility, seeing a job through till it's done, not just quitting because it's 5 o'clock. So anyway, that's a little information about a resume if you haven't done one, or if you have, there's some more information on it. We are going to do a lesson in April on resumes for those of you who have not done one. Okay, We're nearing the end. I want you to log into Student Portal, and I want you to do it while you're watching this or while you're listening to this, because otherwise you might not do it. I want you to do this now. So log into Student Portal, go to your My ICAP plan right here, that button, that menu tab. Go to your current plan, which is, and it shows right here, but your current plan is 12th grade. And you need to answer quarter 3 and quarter 4 questions. They're really simple. There's only 3 of them. Basically, 2 of them are asking you about, based on your career exploration, what are some of your career goals? What do you want to do? And the next question is going to ask you, like, what are some steps you can take to get there? So exactly what we were just covering. And then the last question is really easy also. It's asking you, once you're done with high school, once you graduate, what do you think are going to be some things that you could use some help from your counselors with? And so that's that last question down here. So basically you've got these 3 questions, quarter 3 and quarter 4 questions. Answer those. Remember to click save and save your responses when you're done. And then I will be running an ICAP report at the end of this week and giving it to your SEL teachers to give you your final ICAP grade for this quarter. So get them done, because you don't want your ICAP grade to be a 0 or an F, which brings your whole advisement grade down. All right, you guys are awesome. Reach out to me, Ms. Wickers or Mr. Legg, your counselors, anytime for any questions. You know we are always available. If we're not right then, we will get back with you soon, you guys. All right, take care.